greetings of the day. Now we are discussing module 212. It is on documents required for adjustment of loss. This is a part of training program for cargo loss assessment, adjustment, underwriting and recoveries. Now you see, basically there are a set of documents. If you try to find out the documents, then you have to look at the sections. What are the sections for the documentation? The first thing, foremost section is the insurance. So you should have all documents related to insurance. Then what is the second section? Second section will be related to commercial. Commercial is what? Invoice, packing list, terms of sale. All the details will be provided in the this section. The third section will be a shipping section. So there will be the bill of lading or airway bill or railway receipt, lorry receipt, courier docket. So this is from the transportation from one point to final point. Then there is a survey that what you are finding in. What are the damages you have noticed. So there is a section for survey. There is also a section for the packaging, which is related to packaging. So what is importance of packaging? That because there is a clear-cut exclusion, and that is the reason insurance company is interested to know the details about the packaging provided in the packaging of consignment. Then there is a salvage. The salvage is how much if it is in damaged condition, what will be a residual value, how much loss can be minimized. So all these things will be part of the salvage value. So these are main. Then of course there is an adjustment section. So in adjustment there are a lot of things you are going to see right from. Of course we will discuss when we are discussing about the adjustment part of it. But this is very important. The collection of documents considering the nature of loss and nature of type of cargo. This is very, very important, and you should be doing that. So what are the documents? The first thing we are trying to find out the documents about the shipping section. What is shipping? It is the indicating transit from original point to the final destination. Try to understand that it is a warehouse to warehouse, but it is not necessary that entire warehouse to warehouse consignment is covered. We have to see the next set of document, which is commercial, where the Incoterms they will say that where titles of goods are changed. So what are things we are getting from the bills of lading? That the bill of lading could be there are different types of bill of lading, but bill of lading could be multi-mode transport bill of lading, which is indicating that the carrier has issued a BL right from the origin. He has picked up the cargo and then loaded on board, unloaded, and it is going to the ICD in landlocked places, etc., or the container freight station, whatever is the place of deliveries. So once you look at the bill of lading, and then you have to find out what are the qualifications on bill of lading, because there is every possibility that bill of lading will be qualified. Say for example, containerized cargo. In containerized cargo, if it is a shipper's load stock count, then for any type of losses, the inside shortage or damages which is attributable to the improper stuffing, etc., the carrier will not be held responsible. So as a surveyor, as a person who is who is adjusting a loss, once he looks at the bills of lading, also under which convention that bill of lading is it is based. So when you want to pursue the recovery from the carrier, you understand. So bill of lading, it is a prima facie evidence of cargo received by vessel. But that is in liquid bulk consignment. You should understand that many times the bills of lading is based on cargo delivered from the storage tank to the vessel. It is not the cargo received. So you have to understand that what is the limitations of bill of lading. And then what happens in this type of bill of lading? If the cargo received is short, the bill of lading will be clean because there are bank restrictions, etc. but there will be a protest letter signed by the master of the vessel indicating I have received short cargo. It will be signed by multiple surveyors, those who are signing alleged report. So if for a steel consignment, if I'm taking a cargo which is in damaged condition, the met receipt, whenever you are having a doubt about the condition incorporated in the bill of lading, you should be asking for met receipt. What met receipt is trying to indicate me about the details of the cargo. Bill of lading, sometimes they will make the bill of lading dirty. What is dirty? Or it is a qualified bill of lading indicating cargo received with certain elements of damages. But then if there is a understanding between this seller and the shipping company, they might get a letter of indemnity from the shipper that please do not qualify the bill of lading. In case of any claim at destination, we will come into picture and then we will make that loss good. So this is also possible. So bill of lading is, you want to see what is the qualifications. In liquid bulk, in one of the thing, if the quantity was mentioned said to contain the quantity loaded unknown to the vessel. Now naturally, if there is a shortage in weight, the Indian High Court has given a judgment that the carrier will not be held responsible for this. So what are things you have to see? What is bill of lading? Then if you have any doubts about bill of lading, you should be asking that do you have any met receipt, cargo met receipt. So based on cargo met receipt will have qualifications about the condition of cargo. And then so this is very important to have bill of lading, which is prima facie evidence of cargo received on board. The condition, etc., which is incorporated in the bill of lading plays very, very important role. Then, as I said that, then there is a airway bill. Airway bill, it is a evidence given by the air carrier. So there could be the two airway bill. Though it is given by the freight forwarder, and there will be a master airway bill. So freight forwarder's airway bill and master airway bill. These two airway bills are very, very important, because when you want to pursue a claim with the air carrier, you must have the master airway bill. So what are qualification on airway bill? Is it ad valorem? That means have they incorporated the value of that consignment in one airway bill? So these are very, very important. That airway bill, the qualifications on that, because airway bill is also it is a prima facie evidence of cargo received for the onward carriage. Then there is a lorry or railway receipt, or there could be a courier docket. So this is issued by inland transportation. So if many times what happens, that the clearing agent is clearing a consignment from the docks, the distance is very small. So instead of issuing a lorry receipt, he is issuing the consignment is delivered on the clearing agent's challan. But it is not a formal contract of carriage. So if at all there are losses in the process, based on the clearing agent's challan, you cannot pursue recovery from the carrier, because there is no contract of carriage. This is very, very important. So what lorry receipt? So lorry receipt should have both the sides, other side printed with the condition of carriage. Many times they will incorporate the value also in that. So that becomes the ad valorem lorry receipt. So lorry receipt also, whenever at the settlement of claim, you are asking that what was the condition when you received this cargo. So the driver's copy has to be qualified, because if it is not, if it is a consignee copy qualified, consignee can qualify his lorry receipt anytime. What we want, even if the consignee copy is qualified, we should be asking for the signature of driver on that. Or otherwise, the best practice is that it is the driver's copy of lorry receipt has to be qualified, taken a driver's signature. Now, when that the copy is submitted to the transporter, and then he is raising a bill for the payment, that time you can ask for the damage certificate. the damage certificate is issued based on whatever is the lorry receipt is qualified. So you have to see the lorry receipt. Similarly, railway receipt. The railway receipts are also of couple of types. The railway is not taking any responsibility of counting loading is same. The shippers loads to account. The railway is not responsible. Of course, the freight is different. For many consignment which is like coal, etc., you will invariably find such lorry receipt. So then there are no chances of any recovery from the railways. Courier document. Courier, of course, they are treated as far as the inland transits, inland transportation. So whatever the damages are there, you can pursue recovery from the under courier docket as per it is as if he is a registered uh, transporter, the inland transport. So these are the shipping documents. It will show you the place of origin. It will show you the place of destination, and then it's a basically bill of lading is issued by a vessel in ocean carriage. Airway bill is for the air carriage. So any inland journey will not be covered under this particular documents. But these documents are the documents, the legal documents. These are the documents of title, and that is the reason very important in our the cargo claims, because if the based on the certain requirements under uh, the for the pursuing recovery, you will have to pursue recovery as per the norms, as per uh, the, the recovery suit, when to file, etc. So this is a different part of claim settlement altogether. What you should understand, what all the shipping documents are required, and what you should be looking from the shipping documents. In bill of lading, in case of any doubt, you should be asking for the mate receipt. Then what are other documents are there? The other documents are commercial documents. So what is that commercial document? Commercial document is going to be invoice and packing list. So what are things you are going to check in invoice? You would like to know the terms of sale, because terms of sale is giving you a indication that where the titles of goods will be changed, when the insurable interest will be attached. This is everything. They say the once if you get an invoice in India at the time of settlement of claim, and the invoice is indicating CIF, that means there is a foreign underwriters also. So this was by either it was not disclosed, or the insurance is on a limited perils, and that is the reason the consignee has taken a policy with you also, with the Indian underwriters also. So invoice will tell you the Incoterm, of course the exchange rate, the the amount of unit price and total prices, etc. Discounting if at all he has given something, the advance payment if he has done something. So these are all, everything you will get it in invoice. And then packaging list will tell you that there may be number of different atoms with a different description and pattern number. So the total number of atom in each package, how many types of atoms are there, what is going to be individual value for that. All these things will be described. The packing list is very, very important, because which is indicating that total number of atoms, total type of atoms, the total size of atoms, etc. And then what you understand from the invoice is terms of sale, and you would like to know check the sound market value. What is sound market value? That many times there is every possibility that the invoice will be under invoiced. Why they do under invoicing? They do under invoicing in order to pay less duty. So they are declaring a less value. So there is every possibility that there are two invoices. One invoice is for the purpose of payment of it is remuneration to the seller. Other is to the custom for the. So this is very tricky. I have seen such invoices, that there were two invoices. When we start probing, they have withdrawn the claim, because they realize that this is a fraud. This is a fraud with the Revenue Department of India. But then the invoice will tell you that whether it is a falling market or it is a rising market, or it is a steady market, because from the invoice cost you can also go to the market and try to find out what is the total cost of that particular atom in the what is the sound market value. Because in marine insurance, sound market value and damage market value is the basis for giving a allowance or depreciation for the losses. So this is very important about the invoice and type of invoice, terms of sale, etc. Then the quality, because there could be a contamination claim. There could be a claim if machinery equipment is damaged and it is out of specification. So there has to be a quality report, there has to be a test report, there has to be a final testing report of that particular unit. So the quality report for the bulk commodities or dry bulk commodities, for engineering atom there will be a final test report, TC what we can call. But then for other atoms like commodities or the chemicals in drums, etc., then you have the report issued from the load port. Also, you check the report at unloading port. It is not that every quality report, if it is a loss, if it is not because of contamination, and if it is a improper shipment, then the claim is not lodged with the insurance company. So the quality reports are asked from the uh, claimant only when there is a claim for contamination, etc. Say for example, if there is a liquid bulk contamination, then we are asking many samples from load port. We will say, okay, give me storage tank sample analysis. You give me the manifold sample analysis. You give me the first foot sample after loading in the tank analysis. You give me the tank wise uh, the, the cargo analysis, all level sample, bottom sample, top sample. You also give me the samples drawn and handed over to master of the vessel after completion of loading. So if at all you want to compare for the contamination, then we should have what is the quality certified from the load port. And then once we know the quality and now we have the claim for contamination, we want to find out contaminants, etc. We can go, if it is a liquid bulk, the gas chromatography. You can go if it is a MEG, etc., ultraviolet transmission test. So that is the reason we are asking for the total quality reports in case of quality problems. There is every possibility if it is a over-dimensional cargo, then we are asking for the weighment the lashing plan, how the calculation is carried out, how the hardware is designed. So there would be a total lashing plan prepared by an independent engineer who will say that what is the weight, what is he will also work out the stress in transit on that cargo. He will also see where is the center of gravity. So you can, in case of, so depending upon the type and nature of cargo, there would be slight variation in the documents which you are calling. Because for liquid bulk, you will ask different set of document. Of course, shipping and commercial document will remain same. There would be a quality document. But then when it comes to the documents of quantity, because you get lost either in qualitative problem or you get lost in quantity. So you would like to know what all the quantity, for quantity, what all the documents you should have. The first thing, if it is a dry bulk consignment, then we are asking for the draft survey. The draft survey are carried out at load port price, that is before loading and after loading, and unloading port price, that before unloading and after unloading. So this draft survey will tell you how much quantity is loaded and how much quantity is unloaded in terms of quantity. Then there is a allege report, or it is a innage or outage, what they call it. So this is carried out for which consignment? This is carried out for the liquid bulk consignment. So you would like to know how much cargo was loaded. It could be in commingle condition. So you should be asking for the total stowage plan of the tanker and of the, so it will indicate you that whether cargo was in mixed condition. So the quantity report will tell you that how many parties, how many consignees they have cargo on board, and tank-wise disposition you will get it from them, and then you will find out whether bill of lading for liquid bulk it is based on storage tank at the load port. But suppose that vessel, if they have received shortage, the master will protest for that. the master will give a protest letter to the installation. So with the alleged report, if there is a shortage, then you know the titles of goods are changed when the ship is loaded. So it is only a loaded quantity. The insurance company is responsible. So that is the reason alleged report at load port and unloading port, and also after receipt to storage tank. These are very, very important. In case of breakable consignment or the containerized cargo, what you have the tally report. That is how much cargo is loaded and unloaded in terms of number, quantity. Also in container, how many packages, bales or atoms, units are stuffed and de-stuffed. It is based on the tally report. So this is giving me details of the report from loading, unloading, and then of course there would be payments in terms of quantity, the delivery payment on tank lorries or the lorries on draft on the gross tier net waste basis. So I understand how much is arrived quantity, what is unloaded quantity, and how much quantity is delivered. So these are very important documents from the point of at the time of settlement of claim or at the time of drafting report, survey report, you should be calling for these documents. Now, the next section of document is survey. So how many surveyors are there in the docks premises? So there is a cargo surveyor. The cargo surveyor is a surveyor appointed by the insurance company. Okay. And then there is a ship survey. Ship surveyor or P&I club surveyor. So when the ship surveyor is appointed by the vessel agent or the owner of the vessel, whenever the damages are reported. For any serious damages, when it is going into there is a possibility of vessel arrest, the vessel to safeguard their interest, they will ask P&I club and the P&I club will appoint their surveyor for a joint survey. Then there is a OEM, original equipment manufacturer. So original equipment manufacturer, he may appoint if in case of any machinery damages and there is a question of assessment in the docks premises, there is a decision to be taken of clearance or abandonment of the cargo in the docks premises, then the OEM may appoint his own surveyor in the process. Then there is also a customs appraiser, because you see, if the consignment is in damaged condition as per rules and regulations of custom, you see nowadays from this last January, that is 2021, the custom duty has to be paid before arrival of the vessel. If they are not paying duty before arrival of the vessel, then there is a chance, there are chances of penalty per day, maybe 5,000 rupees or something like that. But then if my consignment is in damaged condition, the value is reduced. The reduced value is assessed by custom appraiser and he will carry out the valuation. So there are multiple people involved and then you should be aware of it. It is a cargo surveyor, ship surveyor or P&I club surveyor, or we can say it is a container freight station or inland container depot surveyor. Then there is a original equipment manufacturer's surveyor, and then there are customs involved. So you will not get the what documents you get it from them, their survey reports. The custom will have the endorsement of bill of entry. The OEM may give his report to the insured or consignee. You can always obtain a copy of that. It is not a privilege. It is not a document which will not be shared with someone. It is very difficult to get ship survey report and or P&I club survey report. But they will also have the assessment, and the cargo survey report is submitted to insurance company, and then all other survey reports are required for assessment, pursuance of the liabilities and then considerations of duty, etc. So this is very important to have different type of survey, and in case of serious damages there are joint surveys. Then what else that you have assessed the loss? You have, if it is a shortage, there is no question of any salvage value. If it is a shortage claim, there is no salvage value. But if it is not a not a shortage, if damages are there, and if it is rejected by the consignee on whatever the ground, the consignee is rejecting the entire atom, then you can get the salvage value from the market. So there are two methods of disposal of salvage in Indian market. Up to 5 lakhs rupees, the salvage disposal can be through salvage buyers from the local market. You ask them, you give them the information about the valuation, etc. They will go and inspect, and then they will give the quotation for the salvage. If it is more than 5 lakhs rupees, then there is a CVC guidelines, that is the vigilance commissioner. He has given a guidelines how to dispose the salvage for the public sector, and it is also in a way followed by the private sector also. Then there is a e-tendering process. There is basically a tendering process by which the salvage has to be disposed if it is more than 5 lakhs rupees. There are a couple of private insurance companies. They have entire salvage disposal team with a registered salvers, maybe more than 1,000 salvers are registered with them. So whenever there is a salvage, the photographs and information is circulated with them, and then it is in a way e-tendering process which is totally under control of insurance company. So this is the way how salvage is disposal. Salvage will minimize the loss. It will reduce the loss. Now once we have considered the salvage, naturally the methods of assessment is considered in the salvage also, because there is every possibility that duty is not insured. There is every possibility that certain 10% the markup is different. So all these things has to be considered when we are considering the salvage. Then there is a recovery. Recovery from whom? Recovery from the carriers. Because we have already discussed a separate module is devoted for the recovery, and then various documents are required. All these documents, whatever I am giving you information in this set, majority of these documents are required, but without ship survey report or without a survey report from the airport or segregation report, etc., there cannot be any recovery. So one person should understand that the various documents, various certificates are required, and there has to be a claim lodged with the carrier, and they will definitely, if they are not paying it, then you will have to file a recovery suit against the carrier. But then this recovery process should be complete. The carrier should be informed. There should be joint survey. There should be assessment of loss. After payment, the letter of subrogation is taken, and then uh, the, uh, the the claim is pursued with the carrier, and then this is the way how recovery is carried out. Then the settlement of the claim, it is two parts. Either the claim is settled, the amount is paid as per the survey report, or there is a repudiation because it is not falling in purview of the policy. So claim is repudiated by the insurance company. So there has to be a letter of settlement and letter of repudiation. At the time of letter of settlement, all original documents are called, and also the letter of subrogation is taken. That is, all recovery rights are subrogated to insurance company. So this is very much important part of documents we should know. Now try to understand one thing, that when you are calling for documents, you should call documents considering the nature and type of claim, and also considering the commodity. Because we have already discussed earlier in the earlier modules that the cargo can be dry bulk, the break bulk, or the liquid bulk, 4-dimensional, unitized, containerized, and considering, say for example, it is containerized cargo, and you would like to know about the packaging, then you should be also asking that load port container inspection report, because if the damages are attributable to the breach of any container problem, if there is any problem with the container, so you have to consider what is claim, because it is very difficult, to pinpoint documents for all types of commodities and cargo. It is your experience factor. This is only basic guidelines what I am giving. So you have the type of commodity, type of container, type of packaging, the type of claim, and then whether it is qualitative claim or quantitative claim, there is every possibility that there has to be, if it is a theft and pilferage, you required FIR and Panchanama. Why you required FIR, first information report, or Panchanama? Because physical recovery is possible when the loss is reported to police. Otherwise, even after tracing the cargo in future, maybe after 3 months, 4 months, if no police complaint is lodged with the police station, even after tracing, they cannot trace the material with the client. So there has to be, that is the reason we should be, insurance companies insisting that if it is a theft and pilferage, you have to lodge a police complaint. So this is the thing in recovery. This is a document from the point of recovery. Also, it is a collateral, the evidence for the losses, that yes, there is a theft and pilferage and police will investigate in the process. Now, what are documents required from the port? So if the port is maintaining tally at the time, if it is a break bulk consignment, for a dry bulk consignment and liquid bulk consignment, there is no tally maintained by the port. So their arrival draft survey report and their alleged survey report has to be attended by the customs, and customs should countersign their alleged report. This is the requirement. It is followed, may not be that strictly, but it is followed. So port, considering the break bulk consignment, and if they take the tally and if they found there is a short landing of the cargo, they will issue a short landing certificate. So short landing certificate is issued by port. Then there is a landed but missing certificate. The cargo was unloaded but subsequently pilfered. So this is also issued by port, but in case of landed but missing certificate, the port supervisor will also inform to the local police station about the theft and pilferage. Also, the consignee or the insured can also ensure that this is reported to police. The third is loss overboard certificate. Now, during loading or unloading, if the cargo falls down in the sea, the loss overboard certificate, or also it is known as the LOB certificate, this is issued by master of the vessel. So these are the certificates which are required in support of the documents for the shortage claims. Now, based on the damages, based on the contamination, based on the nature of damage and then degree of the involvement of the vessel, the negligence of vessel, the vessel can be arrested, and then if there is a heavy loss in the ocean world. The arresting is through the High Court. The High Court will say that the vessel cannot sail out. 99% of the cases, the vessel P&I club comes in picture and they try to execute some bond. If it is not accepted by the insurance company or the client, but try to understand, the loss is noticed. Immediately the claim is not admitted by the insurance company. So arresting process will have to be started by the insured. The end of day, whatever amount they are spending, the insurance company will see to it that it is a loss minimization expenses and will pay. But the client will have to do the process of arresting of a vessel, considering, of course, they can take a legal opinion, and considering the nature of damages and the degree of involvement of the carrier, they can. Now, you must have advocate on your panel to avoid last minute of problem. So I am requesting every client and also insurance company that you should have a panel of legal advisors or the advocates, so you can approach them and then tell them that this is the issue and we have to arrest the vessel, and then you submit the case, survey report, etc., and they will say whether it is feasible and whether the arresting will be granted by the High Court or not. Very important. Then finally the insurance. There are different type of, it could be a specific voyage policy. It could be open policy and the certificate is issued. It could be open cover and certificates are issued. Even in the sales turnover policy, sometimes a certificate is issued. So what we are asking, that in case of it is a sales turnover policy, and if they have issued a certificate, we can get a copy of certificate. Then in open cover also certificate, open policy, you can get the certificate. So all documents are seen. We are checking the validity of the policy. Then we are also checking the insurable interest, because the cardinal rule is that the insured should have insurable interest at the time of loss. So we have to find out that whether it is a pre-shipment origin loss or it is during ocean transit. Because if it is a pre-shipment origin loss, the insurable interest is attached when the ship is loaded. The titles of goods are changed when the ship is loaded. And then admissibility of the claim, we'll have to check the warranties incorporated in the, many times what if it is coming on, there will be warranties. If it is coming on CIF basis, then the only ITC B perils will be operating. Overloading is not permitted. Many type of warranties are there. So along with the insurance policy, it is surveyor and the loss uh, uh, the department who is looking after the losses, they will have to see whether it is not falling in the warranty. Validity is okay. Some insured is okay. There is an insurable interest. Okay. All these things will be checked from the policy. Now you should understand about the various documents. Say for example, invoice. A commercial invoice is definitely required for type of business transaction. And when it is imported, when the invoice becomes an important document for customs clearance. This is containing details of the order you have placed, including the quality, price, weight, packaging. The custom official matches the delivered order with the invoice while examining your import. In there, any mismatch in the invoice and the order delivered, when you may not get the customs clearance. So this is very important document. Also it is telling you the terms of sale. It is also telling you with the terms of sale you will understand when there is a the interest is transferred and legally interest is transferred. Then there is a bill of lading. Bill of lading, it is a prima facie evidence of cargo received on board. So this is the bill that you get from the carrier. Bill of lading for ships and airways bill or flights. The importer needs to show a copy of this bill in order to get clearance from the shipping or airway authority. It has detail of all products and the terms which the delivery is being made. The next is bill of entry. So bill of entry, it is a document filed with the customs which is containing the details of the goods, importer, carrier, invoice number, bill of lading number, and then all these important aspect, exchange rate, this is shown in the bill of entry. The custom clearance in India starts the assessment of the order only after one is filing a bill of entry. One need to get a pass out order from custom after through inspection, and then only one you can get the goods. The bill of entry will tell you FOB value or CNF value or CF value, or what is the ocean freight, what is the insurance. In case there is no ocean freight is mentioned and it is FOB terms of sale, the custom adds 20% towards freight and 1.125% towards the insurance. And then they are not adding. Earlier they used to add 1% towards assessable value. Nowadays they don't add. But in some of the sanction items, they will jack up the assessable value for the assessment of duty. The next is bill of site. It is the if the importer does not have all the required documents and the information that is needed in bill of entry, then they can apply for a bill of site. You need to enter all the information that you have on this bill along with the letter. This enables a person to get the goods cleared from the customs after arrival in case you do not have the bill of entry. This is very important aspect. One should know about it. Then what else is there? The next important document is going to be a letter of credit. The importer gets a letter of credit from the importer's bank stating that the importer would pay the exporter the specified sum to close the transaction. The exporter dispatches the order once they have received the letter of credit. Then there is a import license. Depending on the type of import one is making, one will require to show import license. In order to get the license, the importer has to fill an application to the licensing authority. Once done with this, one can get the import license from the Chief Controller of Exports and Imports. Read the Red Book in order to know the type of goods for which you require an import license and which can be imported without any permission. This is very, very important. The next is warehouse receipt. Once we have arrived at the dockyard, they are kept at the warehouse. If it is import custom clearance is done and you have paid all the import dues for import as well as freight, then you get a warehouse receipt. This receipt means that you can take the goods which are kept separately. Sometimes when the custom duties are unpaid or the import custom clearance procedure is not completed, then the goods are kept safely in the warehouse and you are given a dock warrant. These were some of the main documents of the custom clearance. One is other documents like insurance certificate, industrial license, and then uh, the registration cum membership certificate. So, membership certificate, test report, GAT declaration documents, or duty benefits of central excise documents can be required for some specific types of cargo. It is not required for all types of cargo. So, import gates, get the document to experience a glitch-free customs clearance certificate for any type of import in India. So one should know about the various types of documents required at the time of import of the consignment. These documents are very, very important for a trouble-free clearance of cargo. So we should know about the documents which is required for the purpose of export. We already discussed there is no difference between the importance of whether it is for import or export. There are certain documents would change. So the pro forma invoice will remain same. Then there is a customs packaging list, the country of origin or COO certificate, the customs invoice. Then instead of bill of entry, there is a shipping bill for the export will be filed with the customs. Then there is a bill of lading. Of course, it is a receipt of cargo received by a vessel. It is a prima facie evidence of cargo received on board. The bill of site already we have discussed. Letter of credit already we have discussed. Then there is a bill of exchange. There is an export license. The warehouse receipt we have explained. There is a health certificate. Many times you require phytosanitary certificate or health certificate. So these are the various documents are required actually at the time of export. Some of these documents we will discuss about this thing. So shipping bill, etc. Shipping bill is traditional report where it is a traditional report where the downside is assessed and primarily serves as a measurable record. This can be submitted through the custom online software system IC Gate. To obtain the shipping bill, the exporter will need the various documents. What all the documents are required? GR form for the shipments to all countries. Packing list with various details such as information about the contents, quality, gross and net weight each package. Export license, indent, acceptance of contract, invoices with all relevant information such as the number of package, quantity, price, correct specification of the goods. All these things are required in this. Then there is a purchase order. There is a letter of credit, AR4 and invoice, examination or QC certificate, port trust document. And of course, we have already discussed about the bill of lading. Bill of lading has been discussed, that document. Now, what is important is what is the country of origin or coup certificate. So, country of origin certificate is a declaration issued by the exporter that certifies that the goods being shipped have been completely acquired, produced, manufactured, or processed in a particular country. So there are various places where the country is under sanction. We cannot have the atoms purchased from that particular country. So the country of origin. This is a very important document which will tell me from where it has been procured. So there are various types of other documents you should be knowing. Bill of site. I think I have explained. Bill of site is a declaration from the exporter made to customs department. In case of the receiver is unsure about the nature of goods being shipped. The bill of site permits the receiver to inspect them before making payments towards applicable duties. Applying for a bill of site becomes necessary as it acts as a substitute document if the exporter does not have all the must-have information and documents needed for the bill of entry. Uh, Actually, this is bill of site, this is sorry, I'm extremely sorry. This particular document is for import document when I'm not sure about. For export, this question will not arise. I have already explained the requirement of letter of credit, and then the bill of exchange. It is a option where this is again for the export license. This is very much important document. Otherwise, warehouse receipt, etc., has been discussed. So, export license, business must have an export license that they can provide to customs in order to export or forward any products. This only needs to be produced when the shipper is exporting goods to an international destination for the very first time. This type of license may vary depending upon the type of export you intend to make. This can be done by applying with the licensing authority, and the permit is eventually issued by the Chief Controller of Export and Imports. So we have checked the various types of documents. Normally it is grouped into 7 sections, as I said. It is related to the insurance, it is related to the shipping, it is related to the packaging, it is related to the commercial documents, it is related to the salvage, it is related to the survey, and it is related to recovery. And then of course finally based on that we can have the adjustment of the loss as per terms and condition of policy. But then the list can never be complete because there are different types of commodities. In general, although it is divided into 5 groups, that is dry bulk, liquid bulk, break bulk, containerized, unitized, etc., there can be a consignment which is warranting. Say, for example, considering the loss, you will be calling for the documents. If it is over-dimensional cargo, the set of documents is related with the lashing, the loading, the weight. So all these things will be checked. The lashing plan, the sizes of the flexible steel wire rope, the breaking strength of the hardware what we are using it. So these are all then. If it is a liquid bulk, then it is a quality of the product. How the tanks have been cleaned, the cleanliness certificate of tank. For shortage, the overbe. So what I'm trying to say that there has to be maybe the next this thing. I will have the documents which is only based on, say, liquid bulk, what all the things are required, what are the problems. Maybe we will add this module, but here my intention is to tell that you collect the documents considering the damages, considering the loss, because if it is a theft and pilferage, you definitely require a police reports because you want to pursue recovery. There could be a physical recovery is possible only if there is a police complaint lodged with the police station. But then what I'm trying to say that all the contents of this video are only for general information or use. They do not constitute advice and should not be relied upon in making or refraining from making any decision. In case of omission or discrepancy, information in the original records will be final and binding. It is also not guaranteed that information in this video is up to date and ultimate. I have prepared this presentation for the education purpose to best of my knowledge and ability. In case of you have any problems, any doubt about the cargo various modules which I have prepared, you can always call me, and I am giving my cell mobile number in this particular presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.